it's Nikki here and welcome to a Bookish Friday video. So today's video is going to be my May TBR. So these are all the books I'm going to read in May. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It might not be a good month, but we're going to try. So, when the camera starts focusing. So during the month of May, I will be taking part in the Believathon 2, which is Journey to the Stronghold. Like this. This is a readathon hosted by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. I will link his information for you down below, so go check him out. He explains it far better than I. All you need to know is I'm going to be following a map, and there are some prompts that I have to complete the map. So the first place I'm going to be visiting on the map is the Poacher's Pocket Inn. And the prompt for this is to read the first book in a series. So this is going to be a reread for me because I already read this book last year, but it was a library book and now I own my own copy. This is Magisterium's The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. This is the first book in the Magisterium series, and it is the story of a boy who has been told by his father all his life that he does not want to get into the Magisterium magic school, and he has to flunk his test. So he tries to, but somehow he fails and he still manages to get into the school. So things carry on from there, and yeah, and off the story and adventure goes. From there, I will be travelling to Baba Yaga's house, which is to read a book featuring a family relationship. And the book I've chosen for that is The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millward Hargrave. Now, I have read a couple of her books and I really enjoyed them. And I believe this was her debut book. So I am interested in looking into what this one was all about. I believe it's about a young girl who is forbidden to leave her island, but she dreams of the faraway lands her father once mapped, and when her best friend disappears, she's determined to be part of the search party. So yeah, she's going off on a journey and the family relationship is with her father. So there we go. From there, I will be journeying on to, quite obviously, Mermaid's Lagoon, because of course I was going to go there. Let's be honest, I mapped out my journey from Mermaid's Lagoon and then outwards, so that's where I started. And for that I have to read a book featuring a female Bond. For that one I'm going to Pages & Co. Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. This is a story about a young girl whose grandparents own a bookshop, and she discovers that she can actually travel into books or through books, and she can interact with the characters. So yes, and the female Bond is with her mother, who disappeared many years ago, and I believe she's going to try and find her. So yeah, that's this book. Now the next place I am going to travel to is Orion Found, and for that one you have to read a science fiction book or a book related to space, and for that one I'm going to read Orion Lost, because all of these place names that you journey to are actually based on places in books. So this prompt is actually inspired by this book, so I thought, how appropriate, I will read this book for this prompt. So this is a book about a group of children who are on a spaceship. Things go wrong and they are stranded in space, and I guess they have to find their way home. So yeah, I'm going to read that one. And then finally I will end my journey at the Bookkeeper's Stronghold, and for that I have to read the next book in a series. So I'm going to read the second book in the Magisterium series, which is The Copper Gauntlet by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. So yeah, we're going to journey on with the series. I have not read this one, so this one will be brand new to me, and I am happy to continue the journey. So that's that. So of course I'm not just going to read 5 books in the month of May. That might be the only ones I can do. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that May is a difficult month for me. But I am going to try and attempt to read some more books. I am of course continuing my buddy read with Charlotte, where we are reading the Hush Hush series, and we are on to Silence by Becca Fitzpatrick. So we are on book 3. Things definitely ended on a bit of a cliffhanger in book 2, Crescendo, this month. So I'm quite excited to move on to book 3 and see what happens next. So yes, and I know she's finally got book 3 and 4 now. She only had book 1 and 2 when we started. So hopefully we can move on to book 3 in the month of May. The next book is also for a read-along that I am taking part in. In the month of April, I read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and so in May I'm going to be reading Robin Hobb, Royal Assassin. I read Assassin's Apprentice in March, not in April. But in May, I will be reading Royal Assassin, which is book 2 in the Farseers trilogy. So yeah, I believe there's going to be a live show discussing this at the end of May. So hopefully I will get it finished. It is a chunker. There's a lot of pages in here, 752. So it's going to be a big chunk of a book to read. It's not the only one, let's be honest. So yeah, I'm reading this for a read-along. The next book that I'm also reading for a read-along, this is for the Cosmere-along, I don't know. And I'm moving on to book 2 of the Mistborn trilogy, which is the Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I reread... what's it called? I reread The Final Empire this month, so I am quite happy to move on to the second book, because I read the first book last year in April and then didn't move on to the second book, so it kind of fits that I reread The Final Empire this April, and hopefully we'll move on to The Well of Ascension in May. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed The Final Empire. You will see in my April wrap-up how much I love that book. But yeah, I am happy to move on to the second book in the trilogy. Now, the next book is not part of any readathon or any read-along. I just really want to get started on this trilogy, because I have a lot of books to read before I get to one of my newest purchases. And so I'm going to be reading Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. So as you may have seen in a recent haul video, I purchased Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is her latest book out. And I have a lot of books to read before I can read that one, so I'm going to get started. It took me a year and a month, so like 13 months to read her Mortal Instruments box set, so I'm hoping I'll be a little bit quicker, because the Infernal Devices is only a trilogy, but there's still a couple of other books I kind of need to read as well before Chain of Gold, so let's get started on them. So if you don't know, the Shadowhunter series is all about these humans who are blessed by the angel with these superpowers. They use runes to give them extra strength or to heal and to fight these demons, and there are werewolves and vampires and all sorts of creatures in this world. It is an urban fantasy. I did enjoy the Mortal Instruments series, but I believe that this one is set back in Victorian England, or Victorian London to be specific, so I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy this series a little bit more. But yeah, so I'm moving on to that one. And the last book that I'm putting on my TBR, I am only putting 10 books on my TBR this month, because I am aware that May is not my best month of the year for my mental health. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. I think 10 books is more than enough. And so the last book I'm going to be reading is an ARC that I found in a charity shop near where I live. And it is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Chakraborty. I will put it on the screen for you down below. So this is an ARC copy, which is an advanced reader's copy. Some like booksellers are sent these in order for them to read the books before the books are released, so that they know what they're talking about when they're trying to sell the book. And I found it in a charity shop. Among the swirling sands of the desert and behind gilded brass walls lies an enchanted city of golden domes, jade roofs and marble palaces, a place where magic pours down every street, hanging in the air like dust. Welcome to Devabad, the legendary city of brass. But remember, there is a reason that they say to be careful what you wish for. So it's going to be interesting, and the reason why I'm picking this up now is because FairyLoot are offering a special edition of the 3 books, because this is the first book of a trilogy, and the 3rd book is due out in May, I believe. So FairyLoot are actually offering special editions of all 3 books with special printed covers, sprayed edges, signed books, and they're quite expensive. I will say they're very, very expensive. But seeing as I haven't read the first book yet, I don't know if I want to purchase the other 2 books or not. So I thought I would get this read. This is going to be my first priority because the Believathon doesn't happen until the 11th, until the 24th of May. So I've got I've got about a week and a half to read my own books first. So this is going to be my priority, to get this read first so that I can see if I want to treat myself to a really nice trilogy of special editions of this series. So yeah, so I'm going to be reading City of Brass as well. So that is it. That is my May TBR. It's not a big one. As I say, May is a very difficult month for me. And with the current situation as it is, I can't be out doing things that I would normally put in place to help me. So yeah, but that is it. That is my May TBR. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.